Thank you, Governor. I'm sorry to be joining you under these circumstances this morning. As you noted, we are in the early stages of an active and ongoing criminal investigation. The New Jersey State Police, under the direction of Colonel Pat Callahan, and the Cumberland County Prosecutor's Office under the direction of Prosecutor Jennifer Webb McCrae, are leading this investigation with the support of our many federal, state, and local partners. As you all can imagine, given the size of Saturday's party in Fairfield Township, and given the number of victims, there's a significant amount of evidence to process. But based on our preliminary assessment, here's what we know. This was not a random act of violence. This was a targeted attack. We can confirm that 2 people are dead. Kevin Elliot, age 30, of Bridgeton, New Jersey, and Asia Hester, age 25, also of Bridgeton. We offer our condolences to their family and to their loved ones. I can also confirm that we've recovered multiple firearms and shell casings from the scene, and that we're working with our federal partners to determine where these guns originated from and whether they can be linked to other recent acts of violence in the area. In addition, 1 individual has been arrested, and we fully anticipate the possibility of additional arrests as this case progresses. The sad reality is that we've developed a playbook for events like this one. We unfortunately have a proven and a thorough process and set of protocols to investigate the scourge of mass shootings. We have a playbook for responding to scenes like this one. We have a playbook for collecting evidence, for notifying next of kin, and for bringing those responsible to justice. These protocols reflect not just the professionalism of our state's law enforcement agencies, but also, as the governor said, the pervasiveness of our country's gun violence problem. We can and we must continue to tackle this problem head on, and we must treat it like the public health crisis that it is. We recognize that we must simultaneously address the root causes of violence while also taking swift action against those who break the law. And while we have made important strides in this effort in New Jersey, events like Saturday's shooting remind us how much further we have to go. Before I turn it over to Colonel Callahan, who'll provide additional details about the incident, I'd like to take a moment to thank our law enforcement officers who are working around the clock to figure out what happened and who's responsible for this deadly tragedy. I want to especially thank our state troopers who first responded to Saturday's shooting. While hundreds fled that party, while hundreds of partygoers ran from danger, our state troopers ran towards it. They did that like they do each and every day. Their bravery, their hard work, helped to quickly restore order and allowed medical staff to treat the wounded. Their actions also remind us how lucky we are to have such a well-trained and professional state police force, and how much we rely on them to keep us safe during moments of crisis. With that, I want to turn it over to Colonel Pat Callahan, the Superintendent of our New Jersey State Police, for additional details of this investigation. Pat?
Good morning. Thank you, General, Governor, Prosecutor. I'll just go through some details with regards to this shooting. Earlier on Saturday evening over the weekend, our troopers responded to a party at 7 King Drive in Fairfield Township regarding noise complaints. It is our belief that that party ultimately broke up around 11 o'clock at night, and some of those partygoers dispersed, and some of them then ended up at 1029 East Commerce Street in Fairfield. Shortly after 11:30 on Saturday night, we had a trooper who was just completing a motor vehicle stop in the area and heard what he thought was fireworks or gunfire. That trooper immediately responded, as did troopers from both Port Norris and Bridgeton Station. And at the same time that was happening, the 911 dispatchers started receiving phone calls with regards to the shooting. What we learned, as the governor and attorney general discussed, that this was a birthday party that had turned deadly, with a total of 14 people shot, 2 of which succumbed to their injuries. Many of those who attended the party, and even those who had been shot, had already left the scene when most of law enforcement responded. They were and continue to be treated in local hospitals. Since Saturday evening and continuing this time, state troopers, our Troop A Criminal Investigations Office, Major Crime South Unit, Cumberland County Prosecutor's Office, State Police Crime Scene Investigations, and members of the Regional Computer Forensic Laboratory have responded to investigate. I'd also like to thank Bridgeton Police Department, the ATF, and although they have not supported the effort, one of the first people I heard from was the FBI Special Agent in Charge, George Crouch, offering any and all assets from the Federal Bureau of Investigation. In addition to processing the crime scene and doing an inventory of all the ballistic evidence that the Attorney General mentioned, witness interviews are still being conducted, digital evidence is being recovered, search warrants are being executed, and forensic evidence is being analyzed. A number of firearms have been recovered from various locations, and as the AG stated, 1 individual has been arrested, and we do anticipate additional arrests